Now we're finding out more details from Homeland Security in regards to their investigation into Sean Diddy Combs. We're also finding out what did they find during these Los Angeles and Miami home raids. Not only that, Albie Shore is speaking out, asking his son, Quincy, who Diddy has raised for many years, to come home. Welcome back to the Kempire channel, your #1 source for pop culture news and music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. So, of course, we've been following this Diddy situation since his Los Angeles and Miami homes were raided. Since then, Diddy has released a statement in regards to the raids, calling it a witch hunt. Well, now Homeland Security is also speaking out. But before we get to that, for those of you that have been following the Diddy situation and the history, you know that he has a few children with the late Kim Porter, but he also helped raise Kim Porter's son Quincy, who she had with Albie Shore, an R&B singer from the 80s and 90s. Well, Albie Shore has taken to social media, and there has been a lot of speculation. We won't get into the speculation, but some people have said some of the nasty deeds that Diddy has done over the years includes Albie Shore. And Albie Shore recently having a serious health scare. Albie Shore has taken to his social media and simply with a picture of him and his son Quincy, who is the doppelganger, literally spitting image of Albie Shore, says this, #letter to my son, come home, the door is wide open, you're safe here, son, I love you, Pops, with a Z, comma, you're biological. All right, so you can weigh in and share your thoughts on your reaction to what Albie Shore is saying. But look, if you've been following a lot of the conspiracy theories on Albie Shore's recent medical scare, some people believe that Diddy allegedly had something to do with it. Some also say that, oh, now you want to be a father to Quincy, because the word on the street for many years was that Diddy came in on his white horse, saved Kim Porter and her son Quincy, and helped raise him as his own. Well, a lot of the good deeds of Diddy are now being revealed as, were they really good deeds or just a cover-up of nasty deeds? Well, as you know, Homeland Security raided Diddy's homes, both in Los Angeles and Miami. We showed you some video footage of the Los Angeles home and what they did there. A lot of you in the comment section said that, Kempire, if you think that is bad, you really need to see some other raids. I have seen raids that are a lot worse. This is what you guys have said. I haven't really seen a lot of raids, but you're probably right. Looking back over the video footage, it doesn't look as bad as maybe some other raids that we have seen and covered here on the channel. Well, Homeland Security is speaking out in regards to their investigation in a statement to the New York Post. So the New York Post writes this: federal officials were acting on specific allegations of trafficking when they raided 2 of Diddy's homes on Monday, and they say his alleged victims have not been holding back during their interviews. An officer with the Department of Homeland Security told the Post that the case has been active for several weeks as authorities investigate a range of allegations against the 54-year-old rapper and mogul. We believe that there is a disturbing history of trafficking, said the Miami-based officer, who spoke under condition of anonymity. We are responding to, quote, concrete, detailed, explicit allegations. This is not random. We didn't choose his name out of a hat. We had allegations that we're following up on. So a lot of you that have followed some of these types of stories and maybe have involved in federal investigations like this, and we've talked about the Southern District of New York, they're not pursuing something without crossing their T's and dotting their I's. Doesn't mean that they don't get things wrong, but if they are completing a raid like this on both coasts, it's serious and they've done their due diligence. But as I said to you guys before, this is what Diddy said in a statement. Via his attorney, Diddy says, yesterday there was a gross overuse of military-level force as search warrants were executed at Mr. Combs' residences. There is no excuse for the excessive show of force and hostility exhibited by authorities or the way his children and employees were treated. Mr. Combs was never detained but spoke to and cooperated with authorities. Despite media speculation, neither Mr. Combs nor any of his family members have been arrested, nor has their ability to travel been restricted in any way. It should be noted that in Little Rod's civil lawsuit against Diddy, one of the alleged mules that transported drugs and other things for Diddy was arrested because he was at the airport with Diddy when the feds stopped Diddy. And apparently in this man's travel items, he had drugs that were felonies, and he was arrested. There is body cam footage of his arrest. You can follow that on TMZ. So Diddy's attorney's statement continues. He says the unprecedented ambush paired with an advanced coordinated media presence leads to a premature rush to judgment of Mr. Combs and is nothing more than a witch hunt based on meritless accusations made in civil lawsuits. There has been no finding of criminal or civil liability with any of these allegations. Mr. Combs is innocent and will continue to fight every single day to clear his name. This comes from Aaron Dyer, Diddy's attorney. But the Post continues in regards to the concrete evidence. As I mentioned to you guys before, the Post spoke exclusively with a Homeland Security officer and said, we are responding to concrete, detailed, explicit allegations. And we talked about this in the Cassie lawsuit in regards to how concrete and explicit her details were. They did not, of course, say who or how many people they've spoken to. They said that this is not random. We didn't choose his name out of a hat. We had allegations that we're following up on. So the officer continued. They said, we became aware of certain allegations during the course of the civil lawsuits against Mr. Combs. You have to understand that we didn't just decide on a whim to search his homes. A federal judge had to sign off. This isn't a witch hunt. So in regards to what they were looking for in these raids, the officer tells the Post that they are looking for photos, emails, texts, itineraries, hopefully names. There are specific communications that we are aware of that we will be able to access on the electronics. The multi-agency investigation is being spearheaded by the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Southern District of New York. So in addition to the search, authorities are interviewing alleged victims and witnesses, including 3 women and 1 man who are suing Diddy in civil court, according to sources. The DHS operative said those who have been interviewed for the investigation have been very thorough and detailed. In a quote, they say this: that's a funny thing about victims. They may be reluctant to speak at first, but once they start talking, they talk. They talk a lot. We are getting a lot of cooperation from a lot of people who want to see him brought to justice. So as a reminder, Diddy was stopped from boarding a private jet out of the U.S. on Monday and is believed to have remained in Florida since, for those that have been asking, where is Diddy now? So E! Online wrote this in regards to what did they find exactly during these home raids in Los Angeles and Miami. They said new details are emerging from the raids at Sean Diddy Combs' home after federal agents raided the rapper's multi-million-dollar homes in Miami and Los Angeles on March 25th. Sources with knowledge told NBC News March 26 that firearms were found at both properties. Additionally, Homeland Security investigations seized Combs' phones in Miami before he was scheduled to depart for a trip to the Bahamas. While the investigation is ongoing, a source close to the investigation told NBC News that the raid was connected to allegations of trafficking and the solicitation and distribution of illegal narcotics and firearms. 3 women and 1 man have been interviewed by federal officers in Manhattan in relation to the investigation, one source shared. As you know, yesterday we did a report in Little Rod's amended lawsuit. You know, he has a civil lawsuit against Diddy with some other damning allegations. Young Miami, the rapper who's had a on-again, off-again relationship with Diddy, was named in it, along with 50 Cent's baby's mother, Daphne Joy, was also named, and they were accused of being workers, and more specifically, Young Miami was accused of transporting some drugs for Diddy. Guys, this is your latest update in the downfall of Diddy. We will only bring you critical updates. We won't bring you all of the fodder that you probably see on social media. But as always, if you miss any of our updates, be sure to check out some of the other videos that we've done on this situation since it has transpired in the last week, but over the last month since Cassie's bombshell lawsuit. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to subscribe to our podcast, Kempire, for additional updates and more content. More information on all of that will be available in the description. Thank you so much for watching.